Imagine being a 9-year-old boy standing between two very different worlds, one of security and one of freedom. Two different voices, two different fathers. One said, study hard, get a job, and play it safe. The other said, take risks, build assets, and let money work for you. This is the true story of Robert Kiyosaki and how the teachings of two father figures shaped the way he saw money, success, and life itself. This is the story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Child Chapter 1. Two Dads, Two Realities. Robert grew up in Hawaii. Like many kids, he had one biological father. But what made his story unique was that he also had a second father, the dad of his best friend, Mike. Robert called them Poor Dad and Rich Dad. Poor Dad, his real dad, was highly educated. He had a PhD, a stable government job, and strong beliefs in traditional education. He worked hard his entire life and valued security above all. Rich Dad, Mike's father, was a high school dropout. He owned multiple businesses, had real estate investments, and believed in financial education, not just academic degrees. And here's the twist. Poor Dad earned a good salary but always struggled with money. Rich Dad? He never had a degree, but he built real wealth over time. Robert was caught between both. One said, the love of money is the root of all evil. The other said, the lack of money is the root of all evil. Convenience Store Chapter 2. Learning the Hard Way. At age 9, Robert and Mike decided they wanted to be rich. So, what did they do? They started collecting toothpaste tubes back when they were made of lead and melted them to try and make counterfeit coins. Faced with tears of joy. Of course, their parents found out and shut down their business. But Rich Dad saw something else, curiosity. He offered them a chance to learn how money works, but under one condition. They had to work for him for just 10 cents an hour. So Robert worked. He cleaned shelves, dusted cans, and did boring jobs at Rich Dad's small store. Weeks passed, and the frustration grew. One day, Robert burst out. This isn't fair. I'm working hard and barely making anything. That's when Rich Dad gave him his first big lesson. This is how life treats most people. They work hard for money but never learn how to make money work for them. Thought Balloon Chapter 3. Breaking the Cycle. Rich Dad explained something powerful. Most people live in fear, the fear of not having enough. So they work harder hoping for a raise. But when the money comes in, so do expenses. They buy a bigger house, a new car, and end up in the same rat race, just with fancier things. This is the rat race, and Rich Dad warned Robert not to fall into it. He said, you can be highly educated and still be financially poor. Schools teach you how to work for money, but never how to make money work for you. That stuck with Robert forever. Brain Chapter 4. The Real Education Begins. While Poor Dad taught Robert how to write essays and apply for scholarships, Rich Dad taught him how to read financial statements, identify opportunities, and build wealth through assets. He taught him the difference between assets and liabilities. Why the rich buy investments, not stuff. How taxes, debt, and corporations can work in your favor if you're smart. One day, Rich Dad drew two simple boxes. He said, Robert, this is the secret. Package assets. These put money in your pocket. Package liabilities. These take money out of your pocket. It didn't matter how much you earned. What mattered was what you kept and what you built. Briefcase Chapter 5. Lessons from the Real World. Rich Dad exposed Robert to real-life situations. He took him to meetings. He showed him how businesses operate. He let him sit in when employees negotiated. At just 13 or 14, Robert was learning lessons most adults never would. Rich Dad encouraged him to start small businesses. Even a simple comic book rental corner inside one of his stores taught Robert about cash flow, marketing, and demand. Meanwhile, Poor Dad was encouraging Robert to apply for government jobs and dream of tenure. Same love, same intention, but totally different financial mindsets. Bar Chart Chapter 6. The Real Meaning of Wealth. As Robert grew older, he watched Poor Dad struggle. Despite his degrees, he was always worried about bills, loans, and promotions. Retirement felt like a question mark. Rich Dad? He had freedom. He traveled. He gave to charity. His businesses ran even when he slept. And most importantly, he was in control of his time. Rich Dad once said, "You're only truly rich when you no longer have to trade time for money." Light Bulb Chapter 7. What it all means for us. Robert took the lessons from Rich Dad and built his own businesses, real estate investments, and financial education brand. The book Rich Dad, Poor Dad became his way to pass on those lessons to the world. And here's what the book teaches all of us. Dollar banknote don't work for money. Learn to make it work for you. Brain financial education is more important than job titles. Chart increasing focus on assets, not just income. Stop sign avoid consumer debt. Unlocked seek freedom, not just salary. Whether you're rich, poor, young, old, what truly matters is how you think about money. Checkered flag conclusion. Which dad will you listen to? In the end, you have a choice, like Robert did. Will you follow poor dad's path? Education, job, paycheck, and fear? Or will you explore rich dad's way? Knowledge, courage, action, and freedom? The truth is, you don't need to be born into wealth. You just need to learn differently and think differently. Because your real asset isn't your money, it's your mind. If this story inspired you, imagine what reading the full book will do. Books, grab a copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad and start your financial journey today. Speech balloon, tell us in the comments, which dad do you relate to more? White heavy checkmark, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this story. Until next time, invest in your mind, build your freedom, and let your money work for you.